Salutations, dear viewers. This video is a commentary about the engagement of Prince Harry of Wales to Miss Meghan Markle. So yesterday it was announced by Kensington Palace that His Royal Highness has got engaged to Miss Markle. Incidentally, the prince's name is actually Henry, but he's universally known as Harry, even within his family. I say Kensington Palace announced that because that's where he lives. There's Kensington Palace in the centre of London. It's divided up into apartments for various members of the royal family. There's a little cottage where the prince has been cohabiting with his girlfriend, his now fiancée. Buckingham Palace is a couple of miles away. Anyway, this engagement has grabbed headlines around the world, and they waited till a slow news weekend for it to happen. Buckingham Palace was leaking like a sieve. The media was fervid with speculation beforehand. This represents a first in a number of ways. She is the first black person to marry into that family for many centuries. Her Britannic Majesty most definitely has a black ancestress in the Middle Ages. Nothing about Miss Markle. She's the first Roman Catholic to marry into this family for some time. I know, it's Prince Michael. He married a Catholic lady in about 1978, but that disbarred him from succession. He was quite far down the line of succession as it was. The law has since been amended, and members of the royal family can marry Roman Catholics without losing their rights of succession. Also, she's an actress who's married into this family for the first time. In bygone centuries, princes usually married princesses, and princesses usually married princes. Failing that, they married people from the upper ranks of the aristocracy. There were people very far back in history who were commoners, so someone like me, a plain Mr. or Miss, who married into the royal family. But why did they marry upper class people? Well, they're the people they met. That was their social milieu. And let's face it, the whole idea of having a royal family is about snobbery. It is celebrating a system of inequality, of privilege. And people from that sort of background would seem to know how to behave. If you came from a working class background, a middle class background previously, it would have been seen very difficult to fit in. You might have felt out of your depth, not knowing what to do. Even now, it'll be a bit of a hurdle for Miss Markle, though she's very self-possessed, to think, am I doing the right thing? I hope I'm not letting myself down. She's the first divorcee to marry into that family since Edward VIII married Mrs. Simpson in 1937. Those are radically different circumstances. At 36, Meghan Markle is not the oldest royal bride, because Edward VIII, well, he disclaimed his kingship, the Duke of Windsor, as he styled himself. When he married Mrs. Simpson, she was 39, if I got that right, twice divorced, no children from either marriage. And obviously that was the reason, or at least the ostensible one, why he abdicated. Other people say there were ulterior motives. People wondered whether that Mrs. Simpson was capable of bearing children. Well, Miss Markle was married for 2 years and had no children, but these days marriage and children are not seen as synonymous. It's a completely legitimate choice to decide not to have children, or some people can't have them for medical reasons. As I say, she was previously wed. But getting divorced after 2 years is not a healthy sign, especially if she was in a relationship with her husband for several years before they married. But another notable thing is this couple have become affianced after only a year and a half's courtship. But people in their 30s seem to know what they're doing. They've had a few long-term relationships and can make firm decisions a bit sooner. Prince William famously was in a 9-year relationship with Kate Middleton. Waity Katie, as they said. There was a 1-year break in that relationship in the middle. But when they finally wed, he was 28, she was 29. At that time, she was the oldest royal bride, barring Mrs. Simpson. And people in their 20s are often not quite sure, is this the right thing to do, don't want to commit, don't want to get married unless it's absolutely right. Because the previous generation, the Queen's 4 children, there were 3 divorces. And Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister, also got divorced. And there are more examples of that. Her cousin, the Earl of Harewood, so they really don't want divorces. But in this generation, divorce seems to be a bit less common, partly because marriage is less common and people don't have shotgun weddings, wait till they're really ready, till they really know what they're doing before they marry, and that means the prospect of the marriage lasting a lifetime are rather higher. Anyway, Prince Harry's children are very unlikely to inherit the throne. That would only happen if Prince William and his 3 children died before Prince Harry. Notably, Prince William's 3rd child is on the way, not been born yet. So cue a lot of self-congratulation for the United Kingdom about race. Miss Markle is half black, and people say this could never happen in America, and so on. And it meant to underscore the special relationship between the United States and the UK. How times have changed. In 1980, Prince Charles got engaged to Lady Diana Spencer, and one opinion informer, I forget whom, said it would have been better if His Royal Highness had married a black lady. And there were howls of protest for some people for whom that was unthinkable. The difference between Meghan Markle's engagement interview and that of Lady Diana couldn't be greater. Lady Diana was 19 going on 9, someone who'd never read to the end of a page, let alone a book, and there she was blushing, coquetting, doe-eyed. But Miss Markle, as an actress, she's got boundless self-confidence, and she seemed to dominate the interview more than her beau. Nothing wrong with that. So she believes in herself, she's presentable without being too brassy. So the wedding will be in the spring, they say. I remember when Prince William got married, they announced it in November, and they got married at the end of April. I thought, shouldn't they wait a bit longer, maybe last weekend in June, better weather, before hordes of tourists are there, do it on a Sunday, more people are free, more people can be on the street watching on telly, boost the tourists. Meghan Markle is very different from Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton was a bit too aristocratic in her lifestyle, had a one-day-a-week job as a buyer for clothing. Her full-time job was being Prince William's girlfriend because her parents were self-made millionaires, and so she just hung around beautifying and socializing, was a professional it girl, full-time nothing really. Whereas Meghan Markle, she's had a career, she's accomplished things, she's opinionated, she's already done some goodwill work and charity work and so forth. Her role will have to change. I think acting is over for her. Having said that, Prince Edward, with his Arden Productions, he's made documentaries. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe times have changed that much that perhaps Meghan Markle, when she becomes Princess Meghan of Wales, will be allowed to continue her dramatic work. And she can certainly do a lot for noble causes. And she can raise money for these benevolent causes and draw attention to things which are otherwise overlooked. The one thing is she must avoid controversy. Like Prince William, his pet charity is about saving animals for extinction. It's not tendentious. Who disagrees with that? Does anybody want a species to go extinct? I don't think so. So it's got to be something that people can't object to. Princess Diana, her campaign against landmines, in a way that was a little bit controversial because some people say landmines can save lives, such as along the Korean border. Princess Meghan, as she'll become, will be a UN ambassador, perhaps a goodwill ambassador, and it'll just raise her profile if she's introduced as Her Royal Highness and things like that. It'll give her even more purchase in the United States. On his wedding day, Prince Harry will probably be offered another title, Duke of somewhere or other, and that's what's happened in the last few times. For example, Prince William, he was made the Duke of Cambridge on the day of his wedding. Prince Harry could, of course, turn this down. So there we are. Princess Meghan, as she will become, might well be made Colonel-in-Chief of various regiments. It's solely an honorary position. So her whole job is to look good, to be presentable. She can spend all morning in the gym with a personal trainer. She'll have the most costly beauty treatments, health treatments, hair styling, clothes and so on. And she's clearly a lady who cares about her appearance and might suit it down to the ground. Royal families are to be seen and not heard, so to not be too outspoken about anything like that. So may well be a rip-roaring success, breathing fresh air into the royal family, which I don't think is too stale at the moment, bringing extra glamour. And, one shouldn't liken her to Kate Middleton too much. They are different people. They've married to different men. But Meghan Markle is notably different from her late mother-in-law. What does that suggest about Prince Harry's relationship with his mother? They say a man marries a woman to replace his mother, and a woman marries a man to replace her father. If it's a happy relationship, one goes for a similar sort of personality. If it's an unhappy relationship, one goes for a different sort of personality. Well, Harry was very young when his mother died. He was, my goodness, how old was he? 12. So that might have affected it. And he's gone for someone who's rather more outspoken, intelligent, educated, has accomplished something. She's 3 years older than him. So will they have children? I don't even know if they want children. In the royal family, it is expected that they do, so it might be rather cruel speculation if she doesn't manage to squeeze one out within the next couple of years. Being 36, her body clock will be ticking. Anyway, it'll be a media event of the year. They've announced it a time of year where not a great deal is happening, and it's far enough before Christmas as to not be clouded by Christmas. So that's it. Very much looking forward to it.